Hello and welcome to WePC. My name is Jay and today I'm going to be reviewing the Samsung Odyssey G5. Now, the Samsung Odyssey G9 was the start of the new lineup and personally my favourite monitor of all time.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
And it did bring a 49-inch display to the table that not only offered stunning immersion with a 1000R curvature, but also esports level of response and speed. Unfortunately, the flagship monitor retailed for well over $1,000, making the G9 nothing more than a pipe dream for many users, such as myself. The G5, however, is the least expensive of the bunch, focusing more on value rather than raw performance. Having said that, the G5 still provides a pretty stellar gaming experience thanks to a large 32-inch VA panel, 144Hz refresh rate, a 1ms response time, and once again a 1000R curvature. So with plenty to get through, let's waste no further time and dive straight into it, and as always, we're going to start with the design. The G5 comes with a sleek design that is characterized by that massive 1000R curvature that I mentioned. The monitor comes with a dual-stage bezel that is fairly chunky when compared to today's alternatives. Regardless of Samsung's border-free marketing, the bottom bezel is the largest of the bunch and showcases the Samsung logo in the center. Now, despite that marketing description, the G5 is very much a bordered monitor and it showcases a 12mm bezel on the sides alongside a 23mm bezel on the base. Samsung has also added some wing-esque additions to the bottom bezel of this monitor, and it does create a rather nice gaming aesthetic. The stand comes with a wide V shape that offers stability at a push. I wasn't initially a fan of the stand when I first unboxed this monitor. What's that? What is this? Why is it so small? Honestly though, to call it a stand is an insult to other stands. This is potentially the worst stand that I've ever used. Granted, the stand on the G5 does offer some stability, but that's all it does. That's pretty much it. From a versatility and adjustment standpoint, the stand offers nothing. No height, tilt, swivel, pivot. It does offer a small hook for cable management though, but no additional features other than that. But it does come with a VESA 75x75mm mount on the rear, so that's probably your best bet if you need that extra functionality. If not, this monitor is stuck and not moving. Like most modern panels, the Samsung G5 comes with an anti-glare panel coating with a matte 3H finish. The coating does an excellent job of mitigating both natural and man-made light sources, but it can pick up fingerprints after frequent use. Moving to the rear of the panel now, there really isn't a great deal to report on. The back offers a vortex look with some nice etchings that cover the entirety of the rear, and I am a big fan of it, to be honest. Unlike the other monitors within the Odyssey lineup, the G5 doesn't have an input cover either, instead opting for just a large circular cutout which, despite not looking the best, it does offer easy access to inputs, but it does seem like a manufacturing mistake. Like the rest of this monitor, the inputs are extremely basic. Inputs can be found at the rear of the monitor and need to be inserted in a vertical fashion, as you'd most likely expect. It offers only 2 device inputs, meaning any user that requires a third will not find this monitor suitable or efficient. It only has a singular USB input and audio out options. Now, historically, build quality is an area where Samsung has been a little hit and miss. For the Samsung G5, the story isn't great either. Now let's start off with some positives. The panel itself, even with the 1000R curvature, still feels pretty solid. It provides little creaking during our tests, and most of the fittings feel very, very well made, and there aren't nearly as many gaps as you might expect. And to be honest, the inputs feel sturdy, and as does the panel coating too. Unfortunately, that's where the positives end. One of the most important factors in a monitor's build quality is of course the stand, and if you didn't get it already, then we're simply just not a fan of the stand. Detaching it and using it to hang up your favorite dinner shirt would most likely be a better use for it. Overall, I was a little disappointed with the build quality of this monitor. Whilst it is a budget variant, it still fell short on many similar priced alternatives in this category. And lastly, we have the OSD, and this is one of the better features that the G5 comes equipped with. Not only is the OSD versatile, but it also comes with an attractive design that is a joy to use. It does come with a joystick, hurrah, and it is under the Samsung logo, and it's extremely efficient when it comes to navigating the various menus that the OSD does have to offer. Users will be able to find all the usual suspects, including picture, color, and response settings, and it does also come with a dedicated game menu, providing plenty of options to tweak your visual experience to your exact needs. Now, before we get into what it's like to game on this thing, please note that Charlie, our monitor specialist, and truly just a man of words.
So yeah,
Plenty of stuff going on there.
Has done a whole bunch of color accuracy, picture quality, and color gamut testing, and the results of those can be found on our full review article, which I will link in the description down below, so definitely go and click that. Whilst this is a budget-tailored monitor, I still expect a decent gaming experience from the Odyssey, especially with the performance of the other G models offered. I played CSGO, Call of Duty, and PUBG, and all fast-paced games with different levels of demand. My first impressions of the monitor were decent, and it provided a fluid experience that was void of many screen artifacts that would often plague lesser alternatives. The refresh rate helped provide a crisp visual experience even when in the more intense game scenarios. I did notice that when moving the mouse quite aggressively, some of the clarity would reduce from the image. Whilst this isn't uncommon, it was still very annoying and definitely left me at a disadvantage against players with faster response times. And if you try to counterbalance this with the faster response time settings, you would experience other screen artifacts like overshoot and inverse ghosting. I decided to try a few non-competitive titles next, and to my surprise, the gameplay actually felt fantastic. The 32-inch model allowed you to become fully immersed in your virtual surroundings, not to mention that impressive 1000R curve. Despite the colors being a little flat, the picture quality provided by that 1440p resolution made up for that nicely. Overall, the game experience of this monitor wasn't bad. However, it was definitely geared more towards the casual gamer. So there you have it, our comprehensive review of the Samsung Odyssey G5, one of the cheapest 1440p 144Hz monitors on the market. As I conclude my review, I'm left feeling a little split on whether or not I'd actually recommend this monitor. At its center, the Samsung G5 is a budget-tailored 32-inch monitor that offers great picture clarity and decent gaming performance. With a 144Hz refresh rate and low 1ms MPRT, playing fast-paced shooters is perfectly acceptable, albeit it's not as good as faster alternatives. The 1000R curvature alongside those specs does make for an excellent immersive experience, with single-player titles benefiting greatly, despite the color accuracy not being fantastic and a stand that is nothing short of utterly pointless. I feel the Samsung still shows pretty great value for money. And for around $350, it's hard to argue with its pricing, especially when you do factor in the core specifications. So there you have it guys, our review on the Samsung G5. Let us know what you think of this monitor down in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this review, I would love if you could leave a like and subscribe if you are new to our channel. Only 1% of our total views actually come from subscribers, so if you could subscribe and stick around, that'd be much appreciated. If you click over there, that will take you to another one of our monitor reviews that we know you'll enjoy. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.